On the night of December 31st, 1862, enslaved black families across the United States gathered in churches, cabins, and brush arbors, watching the clock like it was a promise. They called it Watch Night, not because they were superstitious, not because they were sentimental, but because freedom had a timestamp. Midnight was coming. Hello, friends. I'm Scott Lloyd, scholar of race, religion, culture, and communication. I'm a historian, a former pastor, and a storyteller shaped by faith, memory, and the long shadow of American religion. I'm also author of the book, The God I Was Given, Looking for Faith After Losing My Religion. On that night, the black people that were gathered were waiting, a kind of dangerous waiting, sacred waiting, because on that night, Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation was set to take effect. Word had spread unevenly and imperfectly, but hope has a way of traveling faster than accuracy. So people gathered, they prayed, they sang, they watched. At the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 1863, freedom was declared, at least on paper, for more than 3 million enslaved people. Now let's tell the truth. Emancipation did not mean equality. It did not mean safety. It did not mean prosperity. It only meant possibility. It meant the law had finally tilted, just slightly, toward justice. Watch Night became a ritual of remembrance in black churches. Every year, communities gathered to mark not just what had happened, but what had not yet fully arrived. Freedom. Freedom was proclaimed, but not yet fulfilled. Rights named, but not yet protected. Dignity acknowledged, but still denied. That matters because Watch Night teaches us something the American story often tries to skip. Progress is rarely clean. Justice is rarely instant. And law alone never saves us. These services were not victory laps. They were collective breaths held in the dark. They were people saying, we are still here, we are still watching, we are still waiting, and we are not giving up. Fast forward to now. We live in a world that loves to declare things over. People say racism is over, inequality is over, history that was long ago and in the past. And Watch Night stands in quiet defiance of that lie. It reminds us that systems outlive slogans, that inequality doesn't vanish because we want it to, that freedom without equity is just a new kind of waiting room. To remember Watch Night is to refuse amnesia. It is to honor those who watched the clock while their lives were still on the line. It is to confess that midnight has struck before, and yet we are still working to make morning real for everyone. Watch Night calls us to vigilance, to solidarity, to holy impatience, not to despair, but to commitment. Because justice does not arrive by accident. It arrives because people stay awake. People stay woke. And the question Watch Night asks us still is this: what are you watching for? And what are you willing to stay awake to see made right?